What's up, guys? Happy Friday. Going to keep this video short and concise and give you all of the must starts for fantasy football week 15 at each position. Whether they have a tough matchup or an easy matchup, these are the must starts. Going to break it down super easy for you here. Also going to give you guys the latest news and notes and make sure you guys are fully prepared for playoffs fantasy football week 15. If you're new to the channel, smash it, tap it, slap it. And if you guys want my picks of the week to crush it, I just predicted the Thursday night game, Rams to win, Rams to cover. If you guys want winning picks, join the Counselor's Edge. I've linked it right here below. Join the Edge. I know a lot of people are out of fantasy football now. They want to get into some bets. This is the place to get the picks. Counselor's Edge. I do all the research for you and give you guys winning picks. Get the edge below. All right, guys? So let's dive into the picks. Let's start with some latest news and notes here. Just heard now George Pickens is out for week 15. If you guys own him, sorry to tell you he's out. I think it's a hammy. We got Evan Ingram out for the entire season. What's new? This guy always gets hurt. Rest of the season, Evan Ingram is out from Jacksonville. It's a shoulder thing. It is what it is. Bucky Irving is questionable. If you are interested in Rachaad White and you have him, start him this week if Bucky sits. But as of right now, the time it's recording on Friday, questionable, okay? Keon Coleman back into action. A guy that I love. He's been out 4 weeks, but he's just been sucking. I don't know what to tell you. I thought he would have done better. It was a great situation with no other wide receiver stepping up. I didn't know they'd acquire Amari Cooper. He hasn't really done much either. You know, Khalil Shakir had a good week last week. He's been kind of inconsistent as well. It's been a weird year. I'm glad I have Josh Allen, but Keon Coleman has not come through. Josh Allen obviously been amazing last week, 51 or 52 points. Amazing stuff, breaking records at that position. But I got to tell you, man, Keon Coleman, disappointment. Either way, he's back this week. Do you want to start him? Probably not, unless you don't have a better option. He could come back and get a touchdown and tear it up. We don't know. Coming back well-rested could be viable. A great matchup versus Detroit. Not necessarily versus position, but I'm just saying just exciting matchup to watch in reality, okay? Again, if you want my picks, I'll link them below on who's going to win that one, okay? Deebo Samuel, I want to highlight this. Man, does this guy suck. He's so washed up. Listen to this. Yesterday, 3 passes, 7 targets, 16 yards. That's it. That's it. That's it. He caught 3 passes out of 7 targets for only 16 yards. He had 2 carries for 3 yards. Unbelievably sucking there. And he tackled his own running back. I don't know if you saw that. He was running across the field, and as Isaac was running through, Deebo bumped into him, and he tackled his own running back. Deebo Samuel sucks. And he was out there complaining, saying, man, I'm not getting the ball, blah, blah, blah. You got the ball. You had 7 targets, and you didn't do anything with them. Even with those rushes, 3 yards, you suck, okay? Deebo Samuel washed up, overrated. He's more of a crappy running back, if anything, so he sucks. Cooper Kupp, 3 targets, 0 fantasy points, 0 receptions. Cooper Kupp, a guy that I've faded for years. After he came up that pinnacle season, I'm like, even the year he had the pinnacle season, I'm like, I didn't draft him that year, and I was okay. And then the year after, everybody jumped on him. I'm like, don't draft Cooper Kupp, and he busted. He's been crap ever since. Puka's the guy now moving forward, but I know a lot of fantasy owners had him and drafted Cooper Kupp in the 3rd round. He busted. He sucks, okay? Also, Walker did not participate on Thursday, just so you know, and Ladd McConkey was limited in practice, just so you're aware as well. So that's the latest news and notes. If you have any questions, drop them below. I will field them for you, okay? Let's rip through all of the optimal starts at each position. I did a full video on this with Jimmy the Maverick a couple days ago. Go check that out if you guys want more detail. But I'm ripping through all of the optimal starts regardless of the matchup, but I will highlight if they've got a good matchup or not, okay? So at quarterback position, we got Herbert versus Tampa Bay. Easiest matchup on paper, arguably great matchup. Rodgers versus Jacksonville, great matchup. Levis, great matchup. Bryce Young, also great matchup. Mahomes, Winston, Lamar, and Josh Allen, not the greatest matchups, but you got to start them. Hurts and Goff, tough matchups, but you got to start them as well. I mean, this is where you talk about the matchups. Even if they have a tough matchup, you still have to start these guys. Just be aware of that, okay? That is the quarterback position. At the running back position, Rico Dowdle, Breece Hall. Now, if he plays, he's a little banged up. If not, you got Davis, you got Allen. I'm not sure who's going to be the alpha there, but maybe Davis. You might want to consider starting those running backs. They do have a good matchup versus position, okay? Gibbs, Montgomery, great matchup at running back. Brian Robinson Jr., great matchup. Javonte Williams, Aaron Jones, you got to start. These are the must-starts, everybody. James Conner. Other guys that have tough matchups, but you got to start them at running back. Achane, Sincere, McCormick. Now, this is a guy that stepped in for Vegas. They're saying he's going to be the RB1. Obviously, Zamir White, my biggest bust of the year. He sucked. So, man, I got to tell you, man, if you don't have another option, Sincere could be good versus Atlanta. could be a viable option, but he does have the 7th hardest matchup versus position. Be aware. Tyrone Tracy, Chase Brown, Saquon Barkley, Najee Harris, all guys you got to start. Obviously, Derrick Henry. If you guys, again, if we're talking tips for this week, week 15, if we're talking fantasy football advice, you got to start your starters. You got to start the guys that have been consistent. Take a look. How consistent have they been week in, week out? Make sure you start if you want some playoff help here. Start the guys that have been consistent for you. Do not abandon them, okay? Very, very important, okay? Again, a chain. Tyrone Tracy, Saquon, Chase Brown, Najee, tougher matchups, but you got to start them, okay? And again, Derrick Henry's got a favorable matchup. He's one of my guys. Love, love, love him. Those are running backs. So we've got quarterbacks covered. Start your starters, okay? We've got running backs. We've given you guys some names, okay? McCormick could be viable here, especially some DFS plays. You get some value for a guy like McCormick this week, okay? Start them. We're going to get to wide receivers, tight end, and defenses. But before I do, guys, right now, mybookie.ag, they'll match your deposit up to 50%. They got some amazing specials as we get to Christmas time here. So mybookie.ag, you want to use code FFC. That's where you get in on the action. Mybookie.ag, get in on the action. Use code FFC for all the perks. And again, it's going to enhance your game watch experience. That's to say, I know a lot of people are like, fantasy's done for me. What do I do? Mybookie.ag, get in on the action, guys, right now, okay? Let's keep going here. Wide receivers with a great matchup. Malik Neighbors versus Baltimore, a good matchup. Jacoby Myers, DJ Moore, Tyreek Hill, Adams, Terry McLaurin, Khalil Shakir, Ridley, and Leggett, all great matchups. Guys with tougher matchups, but you still got to start them. Jamar Chase, Nico Collins, Brian Thomas Jr., Justin Jefferson, Puka, he's already played. A.J. Brown, Amon-Ra, St. Brown, and Sutton. Now, I know Amon-Ra had a bad week. I think he had 10 points last week, but you can't sit him this week. And understand, sometimes they have a down week, but they come up the week after. So what goes down must come up sometimes, and that could happen for Amon-Ra this week in a must-win situation for your fantasy playoffs, okay? And again, that's fantasy for you. Sometimes you have your downs, sometimes you have your ups. That's the name of the game. And these guys have busted throughout the years, right? Some of these guys that you draft in the first round and, playoffs come and they bust. Not good, okay? Tight end position, Jake Ferguson, David Njoku, Hawkinson, must starts. McBride, Ertz, and Kelsey, all must starts. Gesicki, Geno Smith, Bowers, Laporta. Laporta's got the 5th hardest matchup for his position. Be aware of that. But he's still a must start. And Mark Andrews, also tough matchup. You still got to start him, okay? Defenses here. Again, smash it, tap it, slap it. Hit the thumbs up for your news channel. And drop your starts and sits questions for week 15 below. I'll try to get to them. Defenses, Cincinnati, KC, Baltimore, all good defenses. Baltimore playing the Giants. Atlanta versus Vegas, a good defense start. Arizona versus, who are they playing here? Arizona versus New England, a must start. Green Bay, Carolina versus Dallas, and we've got Minnesota versus Chicago. All must starts this week at the defensive position. Again, if you have any starts and sits, drop them below. I'll keep the content going for you year round. I'm going to start breaking out the 2025 content, so make sure you guys are subscribed. Listen, I just finished a workout. It's Friday. I'm going to go relax with the family. I wanted to get this information out to you with the breaking news and, of course, the must-starts at each position. And again, if you have specific questions, drop them below. And if I miss them, get to my Patreon group, patreon.com/FFcounselor. Again, we're going to start rolling out the 2025 content immediately. If you're new to the channel, smash it, tap it, slap it. I appreciate you guys. Have an outstanding weekend. Let's win our playoff games this weekend, and let's crush it. We'll talk soon. I'm out.